Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2, man. This whole situation with Spider-Man is intense. This whole situation with PlayStation in general is intense. You know, I know obviously people are going to come out here and be like, yeah, it is. You know, where's the information when it comes to Xbox? Shut up. I run my channel how I want to. I do nothing but talk about and criticize Xbox on this channel from week to week. Yes, here recently there's been a lot of positive news going around about Xbox, but it doesn't mean I don't criticize the company. There's a lot of videos on my channel criticizing Xbox to the point I'm talked about as a pony bot. I'm talked about as the Colonel Mustard, which, you know, I kind of took that name myself. You know, I am the Colonel Mustard. I keep all these companies accountable, man. Accountability for everybody. But this Spider-Man 2 situation, for those of you that don't know, all right, Spider-Man 2 came out and it was relatively received well. Yes, there was a lot of like weird information when it comes to the game, but for the most part, the game was received well. I myself had a lot of issues when it come to, you know, kind of bugs. I did feel like Spider-Man had a substantial amount of bugs for a AAA product. Now, I do understand that wasn't necessarily supposed to be that way. It does seem like their day one patch kind of messed things up. You know, a lot of the reviewers that had the game early said the game run just fine. But to me, even if the day one patch messed it up, why was that day one patch not checked? I don't know. But anyway, when it come down to this, we assumed we're going to get like a DLC to the game, because Spider-Man 1 had a variety of DLC. Then we had Miles, that was a standalone. Like, the Spider-Man brand has always been well supported. So I kind of assumed it was going to continue this direction. I assumed that we was going to get a substantial amount of DLC for Spider-Man 2, building the narrative for whatever happens in Spider-Man 3, just like they did with the OG Spider-Man. I believe it was 2018, 2019. I might be messed up. Someone in the comment section below correct me. What year did Spider-Man come out? I don't know. But anyway, you know, we going into this, that's what I'm expecting. And for those of you who don't remember, I was telling people Spider-Man 2 was a good game. Now, keep in mind, I kind of just B-rolled through the main story. I did some of the side content, but I enjoyed my experience with it. I feel like when people started playing a lot of the side content and, you know, gave the game a lot more chances to mess up, that's generally when you started having issues with the game. I didn't have no such issue. I enjoyed my time with Spider-Man 2. So what could possibly happen? So then we get this. We get this Spider-Man 2 content strategy. Now, I think this was part of the DLC roadmap. You know, this was leaked. This was part of a slide, most likely showing to investors or maybe Disney themselves, just telling, look, this is what we intend on doing with the IP going all the way up to it looks like, you know, at the beginning of 2025, which is interesting. We should have kind of knew this because we're almost in 2025. I mean, these first two should have been out by now. But anyway, all right, let's get on track. So we have the Beetle Infestation, Spider-Man 2 DLC, open world mission, boss fight. We got the Extreme Carnage. Now, keep in mind, Carnage was in Spider-Man 2 to a degree. We get the Spider-Man 2 DLC, open world mission, boss fight. And then Spider-Verse, Spider-Man 2 DLC, Sony Picture tie-in, Spider-Verse NPCs, Spider-Verse mission, Spider-Verse visual filter. So that was probably the most significant one, the fact that they were going to bring in the Spider-Verse in with the Spider-Man 2, most likely going into a Spider-Man 3 or maybe a spin-off Spider-Man verse game. That could still be a potential. I don't want people thinking that Spider-Verse is such a big IP. I can totally see PlayStation still doing this. So why do you think I'm asking about this? You know, what's going on? Well, it's been said here for a while that there's actually a lot of issues going on with Spider-Man. And it's interesting that what's going on with this is they actually just full-blown just came out and announced that they've all been canceled. Now, Does that mean that like Spider-Man was, 100% going to get these? No. Maybe you got some kind of slide, something leaked that was essentially just going to be something that there is a potential. It didn't mean that it was going to be like a guaranteed thing, but I don't think that's the case. Here's what I think. Let's actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and read what was actually brought up, and then we'll go into that here soon. Let's bring what was brought up. So this is a segment from the PlayStation 5 thing. It says, Spider-Man 2 is a continuation of our Peter Parker and Miles story, featuring iconic foes such as Venom, Kraven, as well as many returning favorites. We introduced an all-new ability traversal option such as symbiote suit, Surge, and web wings, and we've also expanded New York's to. We have no additional story planned for Spider-Man 2. We're delighted to bring all our previously released post content to the PC version. So that pretty much just says that they were going, that stuff's canceled. So then it just comes down to, it's like I said, if that is the case, then what was that roadmap in those leaked documents? This roadmap. Because this is what I generally believe was going to happen. Now, there's a lot of things that goes into this. Now, let's go into my general idea with this. I believe this got canceled because PlayStation knew, look, Spider-Man 2 might do well, but we all know that DLCs is a hit and miss. We all know that once people play that initial set of content, it's not a lot of chance they're going to come back. Some will, and you're going to generate a huge portion of money, but most of the time you got a good 6 months. After that, it starts dwindling down on how many people's actually to come back. And I think right now, what the situation PlayStation is in, you got the PlayStation 5 Pro not selling out. Maybe Sony expected that. I don't know. Part of me feels like they expected the PlayStation 5 Pro to sell out. I don't know. I feel like everything sells out these days when it comes to the PlayStation 5. People told me that the PlayStation 4 Pro didn't sell out at launch. I don't remember that. I remember people not being able to get their hands on the PlayStation 4 Pro for the most part. Now, I didn't go out and buy one, but just from the metrics that was happening on Twitter, that's what I assumed. I remember it being sold out, but you guys know how it is. You go to like certain retailers, they actually have it. Most of the time you can get your hands on these things. It's just whether or not are you willing to either A, spend the money on it, or B, do a bunch of shopping around till you find one. So in a way, I'm pretty sure they're right. But I think a lot of things goes into it, man. PlayStation's situation is insane. You got the Concord, you got all these studios that they shut down. Well, not studios, but games they shut down. They had a Spider-Man multiverse, or maybe it wasn't multiverse, but it was a Spider-Man, essentially a Spider-Man multiplayer game. That got shut down. They pretty much stopped greenlighting smaller games. They're really focusing on bigger games. Does that mean they're going to never going to make smaller games again? Of course not. They're still going to make smaller games, just probably not as many as they used to. I think PlayStation is only investing in things that they know for a fact is going to generate huge on returns. And especially with the Concord thing, I think after they saw the amount of money that they weren't going to regenerate, because keep in mind, to a point, they probably thought they were going to get some of that money back. Maybe not all of it. Hell, I don't know. Some of these companies are crazy. Maybe they thought they were going to get all that money back. But I think they looked at certain these situations that are like, we need to cut back. We need to cut down. We don't need to go out here and fund Spider-Man 2 content. We ain't formally announced it. Now, sure, you got, that roadmap that's been leaked. None of that's actually been formally announced. So we can just can it. We can can all of it. We can the beetle infestation, which I have no clue who that is. Someone in the comment section below, tell me who that beetle is. Tell me who this is. Who is this beetle beside Carnage in the Deluxe Edition? Tell me in the comment section. I'm very curious. Maybe I'll just look it up. I don't know. Tell me who it is, guys. And then no Carnage, which Carnage had like an opening stuff that was going on in Spider-Man 2 that you knew it was going towards that direction. And then the Spider-Verse. Spider-Verse I still think's coming. I do believe Spider-Verse is a huge brand, huge IP. If anything happens, I feel like maybe a game, like a standalone game, has all these in it and not just a DLCs. Because I think that would sell better if it was standalone. But part of me feels like they might just throw all these together into one standalone. Maybe a Miles standalone, maybe even Peter. Because Peter, you know, what happened at the in Spider-Man 2, he might not be in Spider-Man 3. So maybe they do a standalone game with Peter Parker, and this is what's going on. And maybe, you know, the Spider-Verse thing, I don't know, but then the Spider-Verse thing don't make a lot of sense because that's really Miles that they lead to that. I don't know. There's so many scenarios that could happen to this. It doesn't mean any of it's going to come true. We do know that Venom has a standalone DLC that is supposed to come out. I don't know when. We haven't heard nothing about it. You know, part of me thinks the reason that everything's going on with PlayStation, the reason that they're not really announcing stuff, the reason that, you know, they've been very quiet, no roadmap, because they know their roadmap is slim. So, I mean, I don't know, man. Here's the thing. We don't know anything. Nothing's going to be confirmed. You guys know when it comes to me, I try to be fair. I do think we're going to get this content. It's just either going to be in a standalone or they're going to just throw all this on Spider-Man, the next Spider-Man, like big initial Spider-Man game. Because to me, these are good concepts. These are good things. But if you was PlayStation and Sony, and you can't really afford to make too many outrageous spending habits, do you want to put these out as DLC? Which, especially the Carnage, people love Carnage. In the Spider-Verse? Or would you prefer to pack all of them up with the next game? I'm going to be honest with you. I'd rather the next game. Because most likely I might have played the Carnage in the Spider-Verse. I don't know. At that point, probably would have played Beetle Infestation. But I think I would enjoy these more if it was all part of the next game. That's just my personal opinion. But I want your guys' opinion. Put in the comment section below. How do you feel about this? Put it in the comment section. Tomorrow, we get back to streaming on the Addict Arena. I went to New York. It was a few days. I still got one video out and content on here. Obviously, this video is going out today. But I appreciate everyone for coming through. You guys have been so supportive. It's been amazing. You know, definitely follow me on Twitter at LordAddictILP. You can always like the video if you enjoyed it. You can sub to the channel. We make content just about every day. You know, every other day. So most of the time, it's every day. We make a lot of content on this channel, guys. But like I said, Addict Arena, all that's in the description below, including my Twitter account. And without further ado, man, you guys have a fantastic day. This is Addict. We're out of here. Peace. I ain't gonna lie. I really do want this stuff to be in the next Spider-Man. I'm not the biggest DLC fan, unless it's like certain games that I might be interested in. Next expansion, hopefully. Let's hope none of it got canceled.